Okay guys, we're looking at Laurie Patton, the lucky general. He's been posting incessantly about Julian Assange for over a year, around 5 times a day. That may not be weird if you're a supporter of Assange, but he seems anything but. He's been incessantly posting smears about Julian, namely that he helped Chelsea Manning to hack or to do something beyond journalism. Despite being given evidence, forensic evidence, that disproves those allegations. He presents himself as a journalist and a whistleblower advocate, but how can you be posting up to 10 times a day talking about the smears about Julian Assange, which are totally unsubstantiated and in fact debunked by the evidence? It seems really unusual to me. So if we go ahead and look at all the comments he's replied, and you can do a search for Assange, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a lot. So these dates will come in and out of order, but just notice, okay, so 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 11 hours ago, on the 5th and 7th, 6 hours ago, you see how they're slightly out of order. 4th, 1st, 2nd, 30th. Yeah, 1st, 2nd, 27th. It goes on and on. So you'll see a picture. It's about 5 times a day, and it's been going on for over a year. He constantly says that Julian did something beyond journalism. What he did was not journalism, despite what we've shared with him and the evidence that's clearly there. Like, why would you keep to parrot this smear? I'm suspicious. Like, what would motivate this guy to be so active online, constantly, every day, talking about Julian as something other than a journalist? What would be his motivation? What would be his, how does he find the time? Like, as an activist, I post quite often about Assange, but I'm clearly motivated by the threat imposed. I don't see why anyone would be motivated to smear him so actively. Another feature of his comments is that he will do ad hominem attacks against Julian's lawyers and family, against his brother, against his father. Here he mocks Julian's dad for wearing what he calls a silly hat. Oh, it's a silly hat. I used to have a hat just like that, and I loved it, and I think it looked awesome. But where's the need? Here's a hero, John Shipton, Julian's father, who's just fought tirelessly for years to free his son. He's a hero, very good man. If you see the film Ithaca, you'll see what I mean. And his son has been so brutally persecuted, yet this man has maintained dignity and compassion in all his campaigning. And this guy sees fit to mock him. To me, it's a disgrace. He's criticized John Shipton and Gabriel Shipton, Julian's brother, for jet setting around the world, as if, oh my God, like he has his own family he needs to be back for. He has a young daughter as well that he has. He's not gallivanting around the world for fun. He's trying to save his son's life. So I find him very cynical, this man. His comments. This is Laurie. He's continuing to peddle the lie that Julian did something beyond journalism. Assange pleaded guilty to a charge having nothing to do with journalism. He pled guilty to receiving documents that were classified and with the intention of publishing them. There's no way Laurie can be any type of a real journalist and not know that journalists do that every day. So whether or not he's just an imbecile or someone that's motivated by some other force to do what he's doing and pretending to be ignorant of that. And he just repeats and repeats these lines. So he's copying and pasting them and chucking them all over the internet. That's really interesting, isn't it? Again, 25th, and 26th, 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 Okay, now you might say, well, that's because the news is just broken. There's a lot. He's going hard out. It's still just on those 2 days. This is like 15 posts on those days or so. But if you go back, it just never ends. So even before the plea deal, 27, 26, 25, 28, 26, 21, 24, 25, 26, 24. See how the numbers come back again, 29. So these are actually, there's at least 3 per day, generally. So it's on average about 5. And so what motivates this guy? And it goes back over a year. Here he says, Assange is not only charged with publication offences, he's alleged to have helped steal the files, which, by the way, he hasn't denied. He continues to say this too. It's a really seemingly cynical ruse to me. Now, he kept saying this, like, Julian hasn't denied this. It's like, oh, he hasn't denied helping Chelsea Manning to steal the files. Like, wow, it makes it sound like he's been asked that in court and he hasn't denied it. That seems suspicious. But that's not the case at all. I drilled him on this. Where did he not deny it? And eventually he admitted that it was him that had asked on Twitter, tweeting in replies at people, will Julian deny this, to his lawyer, to his brother. Julian's in court. He has never been asked. He admitted Julian has never been asked this, in fact, but he pretends he has, which just seems really cynical to me. Who does this guy think he is? Like, okay, just because he's not going to get this story broken, I've got more followers than him. It's just like, why does he think that he's going to get a statement? Yeah. He's either an idiot or, more likely, I think, being encouraged to do what he's doing with some financial rewards. It's quite a good trick to sort of pose as someone who supports whistleblowers, but then actually just do a total smear campaign about Julian Assange. Facts matter. That was his favorite line. But whenever we actually showed him court testimony and affidavits, for example, from the US's former chief forensic examiner, cyber examiner, who said that the evidence not only didn't support the allegation that Julian tried to help Manning access or steal the files, he provided evidence that showed that debunked it, that really showed that Manning talking about a password on this Jabber chat was actually related to re-imaging her computer after it had been reformatted, and it was never proved that she was even speaking to Assange. So a lot of bizarre things about this, and just way too active for me to think that he's just doing this off the cuff. I like this picture of me. And just pushing for the plea bargain real hard, which criminalizes journalism. He's trying to say it doesn't now, but he literally said when he did his plea, working as a journalist, that's how Julian began his guilty plea. I encouraged a source to give me documents which were said to be classified with the intention to publish them. So you can see it just goes on and on and on. And he doesn't seem to post about much more than that. So this is the guy. There's not a lot about him online. He claims to have hosted some TV shows in the past, but clearly not an investigative journalist. Doesn't even know that investigative journalists speak to sources that give them inside information, classified documents. No, that happens every day, Laurie. He pretends he doesn't know that. It just seems too unreal to me, the whole thing. And I think the simplest Occam's razor is usually the truth, isn't it? So I think quite possibly Laurie might be being paid for his bizarre opinions. Malignant, cancerous opinions. Yeah, well done, Laurie. Yeah, I hope you got paid well.